Hi everyone, Genevieve here. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to create engaging professional development videos. So have you ever been in the situation where you've been really excited about a presentation only to slowly be lulled to sleep, and the only thing that's keeping you from falling out of your chair is that cup of coffee? Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us have been there. And so this video is going to help you avoid the common pitfalls of boring presentations. And what I'm going to do is share with you how I'm currently working on a project for sharing appreciative advising techniques and using the principles, elements, or assumption of andragogy to my presentation to engage adult learners. So you may be thinking, what is andragogy? Andragogy is the teaching methodology for adult learners. So right now I'm going to delve into those 6 assumptions and how I'm using them on a current project. So the first assumption of andragogy is the learners need to know. So in other words, why does the learner want to view or engage with your learning content? So it's critically important that we explain to the learner why the presentation is relevant or beneficial to them. So the way I do this is I early on in my presentation hook the viewer by utilizing a provocative or big idea question to get them thinking of why this presentation could be helpful or relevant to them. So in other words, my question is, how are you currently engaging students via email? And so a participant may think, wait, I don't know that I do engage students via email. Or maybe they know that when they email students, they often don't get a response. So then they'll start thinking of ways or reasons of, yes, I want to learn tools or tips on engaging students via email, and I want to learn more about appreciative advising. So again, it's so critical that you hook your audience early, or else they're going to tune out. If it's an in-person presentation, they're just going to shut down and start thinking about what they're going to eat for lunch. Or if it's a YouTube video such as yourself, they're going to turn it off. So the next assumption of andragogy is self-concept. So adult learners need to feel that they're in control on what they're taking in. So what I do when I'm relaying information is I make it a point to let the audience know that they can totally pick and choose areas that are relevant to their field. So for example, in my project, I'm going over 6 elements of appreciative advising, but I do understand that maybe not everyone viewing my video will need to utilize all 6 elements. Maybe they only care about disarming students. So I make it very clear that the viewer has the self-direction to pick and choose what is going to work for their personal role within the university. So that brings us to the third role of andragogy or assumption, and this is the role of the learner's experience. So my information is going to be presented to professionals in higher education. So I'm heavily relying on their previous experience of working with students over emails to motivate them to learn new tips on how to engage their students utilizing appreciative advising. So that is, again, the third role is making sure that you take into account your viewer's experience. Because if I'm, let's say, having my husband view my videos, he's not in higher education, it's not relevant to him. He's going to turn off the video. He's not engaged. It's not going to motivate him. So again, keeping the learner's experience in mind. Fourth point is the readiness to learn. So before I can delve into why someone should be utilizing appreciative advising techniques in their email, they first have to know what is appreciative advising. So I'm going to go over these 6 elements of appreciative advising so that the audience has the prerequisite knowledge in order to utilize appreciative advising techniques in their email communications. Our 5th assumption or principle of andragogy is orientation to learning. So this is a fancy way of making sure that your material that you're providing in your presentation is going to be relevant to real life situations. If it's only based on information that can't be applicable to their job, again, they're going to tune you out because they're going to think, okay, this is no longer really motivating me, even though the information may be really good stuff. If they don't know ways to apply it to their role, that can be a pitfall. So in my presentation that I'm working on, I'm going to give several different example scenarios of where a faculty or staff member could utilize what I'm presenting, in this case, appreciative advising, to their daily role. Because again, a athletic advisor's communication with a student may be slightly different from, counseling and wellness from a faculty member. So finally, to wrap up the assumptions of why we use andragogy, or the 6th principle, it's motivation. So we need to provide examples or things that's going to motivate our audience to take whatever they're watching and apply it in their life or experience. So again, I do that by giving several examples. I'm going to give a screenshot tutorial of an actual sample email that could be sent out to students that the audience can take and make it their own. So again, that's Selfconcept. They can direct and craft the email for what works for them. But hopefully when the viewers walk away from my presentation, they feel motivated to take the tools that they have learned and apply it to their role. That is the ultimate goal. So that wraps up the 6 principles, assumptions, and elements of andragogy. Thank you for taking the time to view this video, and I hope you stay tuned for future videos.